Hello. Oh,
Sorry.
it's fuck it. No, we're still going. Welcome to limited edition Kingdom Hearts Volume 4, Body and Heart. That's what I decided to call this rather than the long, drawn-out, fake Keyblade Amazon listing.
I was hoping it was going to be that one. I was hoping it was going to be that one.
Yeah, I bought 4 of those actually.
Oh,
So.
Jesus. Oh, it's too good. So it's been a couple months since we've done one of these. How's everyone been since then?
I'm pretty good.
My head hurts with all the knowledge I have right now for Kingdom Hearts, and it's probably going to hurt even more after I finish Dream Drop Distance. But
It's gonna hurt after this.
Oh,
after
it
I
really
blow your mind for hours on end.
This is going to be a fun one.
This is gonna be fun. This is the deep dive right here.
Yes.
All right, so we have a lot to cover story-wise through Birth by Sleep, so I'm just gonna get through it. I apologize if I read too fast.
Should we introduce ourselves?
Maybe.
If you're just joining us right now for this limited edition,
you're kind of messing up. Yeah, you
You
do.
need to go back.
You have 3 episodes to
Coming
watch.
in.
Chronologically, this happened first, but you shouldn't be listening to this one first.
Mm-hmm.
God, if you played this
Spoilers
game
ahead.
first, you would be confused as hell.
People always say like, "What if you just played them in chronological order?" I'm like, "No,
No.
dude, don't do that."
No, especially with like the secret ending crap. Like,
Mhm.
don't.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
don't.
Gets wild.
Oh, you'd have to wait like what 4 games before you figure out who that is at the secret ending.
Yeah.
Try
Who's this
lining
guy?
that up. Yeah, like is that guy?
Sounds different.
So thank you again, Jake, for joining us, and as always, Alex. Our
This is the best show ever.
it's been
Between-
2 months. I'm rusty. Like,
Yeah, this
It's
is the only
ugly.
show we're doing now, so it's like,
yeah,
Yeah, this is cool. I'm glad I get to be a part of this.
yeah. And we already announced our next one, so
that's gonna
excited
be.
for that one.
It's already hell, but.
Spoiler alert! If you haven't heard what we were doing next, here's a little,
That's a little hint.
little hint.
Okay, here we go.
Birth by Sleep.
Birth by Sleep.
Like, may I ask a question? Like, how do you guys feel about Birth by Sleep? Because both of you really hadn't finished it before, so.
So-
you are going to be shocked by where I place this on the list.
Okay.
But I'll save it. Matt, go first.
Yeah, I do want to get this out the gate. I spoiled myself on Birth by Sleep after the game came out in Japan because
Me too.
it wasn't released in the U.S. Until what, like a year or
It's
at
like
least
10 months to a year.
Yeah, afterwards. And it's Kingdom Hearts. Like we were talking about this when Final Mix for 2 came out in Japan. How I was on the internet trying to find every little thing that was in that game. So yeah, Birth by Sleep comes out. Like, oh well, yeah, I'm gonna watch all the cutscenes with the English subtitles. That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't. I played the game a little bit on PSP, and then a little bit I played through Terra's on PS3, and I didn't play through it until now on PS4. That's my story. I don't want to tell about how I feel about the game until we go through this, but that's the preface of how I entered into Birth by Sleep.
That's similar to mine. Like, I spoiled everything. Because, like, you think about it, Birth by Sleep, I think, came out in the US in 2010. And the last Kingdom Hearts game 2 was 2005.
Yeah.
And I was just ravenous at that point. Like, the carrot on the stick had gone so far at this point. So I was like, I could not wait to know what had happened. Like, this is the first major Kingdom Hearts story in years and years and years.
I'll be right back. 1 second.
But yeah, it's it is the most, I think, ambitious Kingdom Hearts story yet. Also,
And that was something I was going to get into too. Like, worries when the first game was announced and everything like that. Like, oh, we're not getting 3. I was worried, like, oh, they're just focusing on the side stories. Birth by Sleep is Kingdom Hearts 3 for all intents and purposes.
yeah,
Like,
it is the third major installment.
like this is a full story. And without the information that's in this game, we'd still be like, what?
It since we've had conversations about Metal Gear recently, it really feels the Peace Walker role, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like it's like maybe even more of like a Metal Gear Solid 3 than a Peace Walker.
Yeah, Peace Walker things happen, but not. There's not too much connective tissue in Peace Walker.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that comes back in 5, or in Metal Gear
Right.
Solid V, if you prefer.
Which is
Which is,
we'll
has
get
its
into
own
that
problem.
next year.
Yeah. But it is like this prequel that really my feeling is like going from Metal Gear Solid 3 to 4 is how it's going to feel going from Birth by Sleep to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mhm.
Of like, oh, all of this stuff from the past is what's informing what's happening right now.
And so, are you saying Dream Drop Distance is Metal Gear Solid 2?
No, Dream Drop Distance is Peace Walker. Now I'm actually, everything is fitting into place. Metal Gear Solid 1 is Kingdom Hearts 1. Jake, you didn't miss much. Metal Gear Solid.
No, I already know. We're talking about Metal Gear Solid and comparing it to Kingdom Hearts. I already know I didn't miss much. Nor would I get it.
Metal Gear Solid 2 is Kingdom Hearts 2.
But
And then
Metal Gear Solid 2 was so divisive. A lot of people hated that game because of Wright and the fucking hour of dialogue on the codec. Like, all that information in there that seemingly goes nowhere until you play the other games. Like, oh, there was actually a lot being said there. Is it really Kingdom Hearts 2?
yeah, I mean, I don't know if like the comparison fits 100%, but I don't think there's a better fit. I think like a lot of Metal Gear Solid 2 informed a lot of the twists and turns that we take in 4,
True.
which is how I feel Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to kind of come back around to things in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Sure.
Like
That's
the nobodies and all of the original organization members and et cetera, et cetera. Kingdom Hearts is pretty good.
Yeah, just a
did
little
you-
bit. Yeah.
Did you know, Jake, any of this stuff? Had you been spoiled on it before you played it?
Birth by Sleep? No, I didn't even play it until it came out on PSP, and I played through Terra's, then Ventus, and then I was about ready to. I played a little bit of Aqua's, but I never finished it. I think I just got burned out by playing two characters of going in like the same worlds and such during that time.
And that's why
I
I
don't think
stopped originally.
Yeah, I don't think I truly appreciated Birth by Sleep until playing through it recently. Now I really want to go back and just play through all three again.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like if I go back and play this all again, with the way I felt about Aqua and putting my feelings back when I played through Terra and Ventus, I feel like this is my second favorite Kingdom Hearts game right now. Like,
That's what most people would say, I think.
Yeah.
It's
I
really good.
I didn't think that's what most people would think. It's like it's really good. If Chain of Memories had that system with the cards, if they had what Birth by Sleep had,
Right.
Chain of Memories would have been so much better in my opinion.
Yeah.
I wish they would have just put that in there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Well, it
Oh, wow.
it was a progression because it was Chain of Memories, and then that system turned into what eventually became Crisis Cores, right?
Yeah.
Which tweaked a little bit and then became Birth by Sleep system.
which Crisis Core is still one of my favorite.
Oh, it
Final
is.
Fantasy games to date.
But we wouldn't have had that system if they tried the dinky ass system that was in Chain of Memories first. But yeah, agreed. This system, like we'll get into it, way better.
Yeah. I still have like issues with deck commands, and I think like Dream Drop Distance tried to take out some of the fluff. Like there's no experience points for deck commands in that game, which I think is both a good and a bad thing. But yeah, it was cool. It's certainly like a better refined idea of like you have a list of commands that aren't cards. Like there's not like that whole numbers like versus each other that I think really hurts Chain of Memories specifically. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I would say like most people say Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best, and then Birth by Sleep is the second best. Some people will take Birth by Sleep over 2 in rare cases, and some people will say 1 is the best. So all arguments I understand.
Yeah.
And also, Jake, you were spoiled a little bit because I accidentally did that last episode.
Yeah, that was the only thing. And then I forgot about our discussion.
I don't
And
remember.
then
It's fantastic too, because the only thing I spoiled is at the very end of this game.
It's the secret. It's technically the secret ending, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just who's in the secret ending? I don't want to talk about it right now, but yeah. So once I watched that, I'm like, Oh yeah, they did mention that.
Yeah.
Like, oh well.
Luckily, it wasn't an earth-shattering. Like, what? Iron Man's in the game?
Yeah, it was.
What? Alrighty, here we go. Birth by Sleep, the story.
We have the notes here.
Ready for the report.
The game opens up, and we meet the three heroes of our tale for this time. Taking place before Kingdom Hearts 1, Terra, Ven... Wait a minute, that's not Roxas? And Aqua. We'll get into it. After a brief interruption by Xehanort, yeah, that Xehanort, during Aqua and Terra's Mark of Mastery exam, Aqua comes out on top, and Terra does not, leading him to brood over the darkness inside him, which inconsequently led to his not passing the exam. Soon after, Xehanort goes missing, and a bunch of monsters known as the Inversed start wreaking havoc in other worlds. And with reasons of their own, the three heroes set off into these other worlds.
Can we get a opening shout out to Mark Hamill and Leonard Nimoy for fucking crushing it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I forgot.
Yeah, and then I heard the voice in the newest trailer, and I'm like,
I haven't heard the voice yet, so
I thought it was in the trailer.
No,
Or
yeah,
it
but
wasn't
he
in the
didn't have the
I didn't
sound
hear it
on.
with audio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's right. So I heard it, and I'm just like, oh no, I'm gonna.
I don't know what any characters in that trailer said. I just saw visuals. So
We have two amazing actors that granted their voices to the series that are now sadly passed away.
Yeah. Both like characters that are coming back, and I think in a major way in the finale too, which is a bummer.
Yeah,
but,
well, we haven't seen the one yet, but
yeah,
maybe,
Yeah.
hopefully.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's so cool that this character got to be played by such like a known actor, and like, man, he's so perfect for it. Like, there's no one else. Like, anytime he's like doing his finger thing, and I'm like, fuck, Leonard Nimoy is hamming it up right now, and he's loving it.
Yeah, and even like hearing like Mark Hamill in this game is just like, it gave me a major Luke Skywalker from The Last Jedi.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it gave me that feel. Like after, like once you watch The Last Jedi and then you go back to this character, I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
they're kind of similar.
Well, it was also great for any Star Wars nerd who knew about the extended universe before the new sequels and stuff too, because Luke does become that master and opens up a Jedi temple and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I miss the Jedi Knight games.
Those were so good.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that was great with that. And what I was doing over there, speaking of Leonard Nimoy, I just borrowed this from my brother. Leonard Nimoy, rest in peace, also narrated this classic game. For those,
Seaman.
yeah, for those listening, that is Seaman.
Wow.
I only ever saw Seaman at a friend's house, and I think I got the best experience that way.
It's a ridiculous game. Alrighty, so moving on. So the recommended pattern is to go from Terra, Ven, to Aqua, and how to play this game. For those not familiar, the story is split up into 3 parts, 4, but for each one for each character. I do believe that is the best order to go in, but I do not like Terra, and playing the game with him first, I think, is actually what in part made me stop playing when I finished his and was going to go on to Ven, just because I was tired of Terra.
Yeah, I like Terra. I like that he feels so different than any other Kingdom Hearts character, but like Ven and Aqua feel way more like a Sora or Riku, like,
Right.
speed wise, and Terra's like so slow by comparison. Obviously, like I think once you get to like his final boss, especially when you are like kind of have to pull out all the stops, like this game's also like pretty hard, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a few
relentless.
spikes.
Yeah.
First one being that Radiant Garden. That boss fight took a few tries.
Yeah.
For me.
But yeah, I agree that like Terra is like a weird one too, because you play Terra and then the next 2 playthroughs feel very similar to each other and nothing like this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I will say it felt like the way they were doing the story for Terra was trying to get like almost like feeling of like trying to feel bad for him in a way like you would for Riku.
Well,
And I don't I don't think it really worked that way.
It works
were
in
trying to.
retrospect.
Right.
Like, and we'll get into it after the story and everything. But yeah, when you haven't finished the story and you've only played his, it doesn't work. It's only after you've played the entire story, like, oh, okay, now it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially Aqua's. So
Yeah. So, setting off in search of Master Xehanort and to fight the Unversed, Terra travels to all the different worlds, but inadvertently helps the darkness spread and grow in the other worlds. In a nutshell,
Can we talk about the first world he goes to? And it's like, what's the first thing he's told to freaking do?
just rip out somebody's heart. It's cool, man. Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll just do it. All right, yeah, sure, no problem. Like, what?
he does get
I'm not
little
gonna
mind control.
dive into the darkness. Okay, I'm gonna take someone's heart. All right, and that's no problem. Like, what?
Yeah. Like, we learned some like really messed up stuff about keyblades in this game. I feel like
Yeah.
is the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
You
man,
could do a
keyblades
lot of things.
are bad, actually,
Yeah.
maybe. But yeah, that's not a good look. Not a strong opening. Like, it's hard to empathize with Terra out the gate. Where it's
Out
like,
the
I'm
gate,
in
it's
control
like-
of the darkness.
Yeah.
Dude, no.
Yeah, out the gate, you're like, oh, I'm playing as the bad guy.
Yeah. Like, maybe
Awkward.
Xehanort is the good guy in this one. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we all got it wrong. The North. So that's all I wrote for Terra's because there's a lot more crossover in Terra's actual story with everyone else's, so he's showing up in these other two paragraphs. So for Vin, worried about Terra because of the mysterious how do you pronounce his name? Because it's not the actual Latin.
Vanitas.
Vanitas.
Yeah.
The Latin would be Vanitas.
Yeah.
Which just sounds cool.
Yeah. Vince sets off after Terra because he's worried that the darkness is going to consume him. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
During these travels, Vin comes face to face again with Nort, who reveals that he intends to use Vin's heart to create the ultimate Keyblade. Something Master Erquist supposedly kept hidden from Vin, leading him to go back and confront Erquist, in which Erquist decides he needs to stop this from happening. And in a moment of confusion, Terra steps in, attacks Erquist, letting Vin escape. But also, Nort comes back and ultimately leads to Erquist's demise. Not a good moment. Not a good moment.
Not a good moment. I like seeing that moment from two perspectives, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terra.
Man, that scene with Mark Hamill in particular is fucking so good.
Yeah.
And then moving on to Aqua's here. I'm leaving it vague because there's a lot that goes into the final act where it all congeals. So it's Master Erquist sends Aqua off to look after Terra and make sure he doesn't fall into darkness, and consequently bring back Vin, who chased after him. Along the way, Aqua learns of misdeeds being enacted by Terra, where he is falling and giving it to the darkness. Aqua comes across a young Kairi in Radiant Garden, as well as a young Riku and Sora at Destiny Islands. I didn't write here, but also Terra runs into those two as well.
Mm-hmm.
Upon learning about Erquist's death from Yensid, she sets out to, and this is the big part of the game, the Keyblade Graveyard, where the three meet again, and for the last time. It is here that Master Xehanort reveals his plans to create the ultimate Keyblade to open Kingdom Hearts, and to use Terra as a new vessel so he can live long enough to see his plans come to fruition, resulting in a terrible battle in which Terra loses his body to Xehanort, which in turn gives birth to a younger Xehanort. We're going to say Xehanort a lot from here on.
Yeah, Terra Nort is also like an accepted referral to that character, so.
But with Terra's consciousness still residing in his armor, Terra takes out the Nort. During the battle, Vin was frozen, but manages to break free just in time to stop Vanitas from killing Aqua, and realizes that he is also the source of the Unversed. Vanitas, not Vin. Vanitas then merges with Vin, subsequently creating the Keyblade, which is... What is that? Is that...
It's a Greek symbol, I believe.
Okay.
It's a key, like CHI, I think, if you write it out.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like an X with like a little wave on it.
It is a Greek X, and it's also sometimes pronounced Kai. So like sometimes in conversations I've referred to it as the Kai blade, so that way people know if you're just hearing me talk, like I'm talking about this keyblade, not
not like the one that's behind you. Yeah,
exactly, not like the one in my fire.
So kind of like Dragon Ball Key Energy.
Yeah, sure.
We are not linking Dragon Ball Z to Kingdom Hearts now.
Not yet. Goku
Soon.
soars in Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'm the Kai Blade. Just Kamehamehas everybody to death.
Man, Kingdom Hearts 3 got real weird in the Dragon Ball world.
Just became a Dragon Ball game.
Yeah. Goku joins the party and he just wins.
Okay. While Vin fights Vanitas from inside, Aqua and Mickey are fighting the evil, possessed Vin from the outside. Upon shattering the Keyblade, or Kai Blade, or X-Blade, gonna give it to you, an immense light emerges, sending everyone to odds and ends. All but Terra's armor, his lingering will, that stays behind in the Keyblade graveyard. Of which we...
That cape moment is very good, also.
Once I saw the cape come out, I'm like, I hate you so much.
Do you ever end up
flashbacks?
No,
not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I got to go back to it.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I'm going to be doing in January before the game 3 comes out, is finishing off the low odds and ends of all these games. Same. Mickey, saving Aqua and Vin, brings them to Yinsid's tower. Aqua learns that Vin is now in a coma until his heart returns. Needing somewhere absolutely safe to store Vin until that time, Aqua returns to the ruins of the land of departure. And in using Master Erquist's Keyblade, she opens the Chamber of Waking and changes the world into what is now known as Castle Oblivion.
Very cool. I think when I spoiled this game on myself, like that's a moment I didn't appreciate until I really saw it.
Yeah.
Especially for you guys, like we're going through Chain of Memories and everything recently. It's like, oh wow, like
playing these games back to back, like there's a lot more connective tissue that like gets the feels going a little bit. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we want to talk about it now or later, but when Ven's in that coma and where his heart goes.
Oh, that's coming up.
Okay. Okay.
I only have like 3 paragraphs.
There's like
left.
12 ending credits or like post-credit scenes, and that's one of them. And it's like, oh my god, another piece of information that's mind-blowing right now.
I'm just gonna say that part made me cry.
Oh,
that part was like,
I feel you.
So good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Aqua heads back to Radiant Garden and confronts young Xehanort, battling, and then which young Nort tries to unlock his heart and loses all of his memories. In an attempt to rescue Terra's body from falling into the world of darkness, she races after him, but ultimately decides to sacrifice her only way out, sending Terra's body, young Nort, with her armor on her glider out of the portal, leaving her lost in the world of darkness, or the realm of darkness. I just call it the world of darkness. Terra Xehanort is discovered by Ansem the Wise, and trains him to become his apprentice. Meanwhile, Vin's heart finds its way to a young Sora, merging with his own. Which brings us to blank points. Terra and Master Xehanort lie dormant in young Xehanort's body, waiting for either of them to assume control over the body again, also revealing Erquist's heart is sealed within Terra's. Taking place after Kingdom Hearts 2, Aqua meets Ansem the Wise on the Dark Coast. Ansem survived the explosion of the world that never was, but with considerable damage to his memories. He tells Aqua that while the darkness is trying to take the worlds again, the hope lies in Sora, who is preparing to set out once again to help all the hearts connected to his own.
So that's like the game starts 10 years before Kingdom Hearts 1 starts and ends 2 years after Kingdom Hearts 1 ends. Because at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Right.
So a lot of time spent in the world of darkness. That's it. That's the whole story.
That's Birthplace Sleep.
That's a good summary. I know you spent a lot of work on this, so I appreciate it, Matt. What questions do you guys have? How can I help?
I think.
What the heck, man? when I like first played through this, I didn't think I'd be going through like such an emotional toll. So like going through Aqua's part finally, and then after playing like all these games with more of a fresh mind. This is really an emotional roller coaster of a game.
It is.
When you have everything connected, it's like,
and like we were talking
My
about
God.
Terra, like I think the guy's a dick when I only play his story, and then later on, like it congeals so well because he is so unlike every other character. He's the friend that usually all of us have, and like we always talk about how this game is about friendship, but he's the friend that keeps failing. Like he is trying to make himself better, but is doing it wrong and ultimately falls.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really, like, you don't feel that bad for him when you're just playing his story, but when you're playing everyone else, it's like, shit.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's trying to help him, and we've all been there. Like, we've all had that friend that we've tried to help and everything like that, and it hurts when you can't get to them.
Yeah, it's it wasn't in the summary, but like one of my favorite scenes in this whole game is the bequeathing ceremony that Terra gives to Riku when he hands him his
With the
keyblade, and like that very odd ceremony that we had never seen before. And there's like the way it's theory, we don't know for sure, but the way you can gain the power to hold use a keyblade is by touching one. It's not necessarily by like having someone hand you their keyblade and letting you touch it. So like there's a scene where Kairi reaches out and touches Aqua's keyblade handle while she's holding it. And people theorize that that's how Kairi got her ability to wield a keyblade. And obviously, we now know Sora can wield a keyblade because he has Ven's heart in him. But like that's obviously not the only reason.
Right.
That keyblade was on its way to Riku and it got lost in the darkness. So, yeah, I don't know. Like Terra is the version of Riku that didn't get a second chance. Like Riku got a second chance and Terra didn't. Like he failed and it cost him everything. And I really like the kind of the dissection of those two characters into two different directions. Like I think they complement each other really, really well. They're different too. Like they're not just the same character type.
Right.
They're similar, but they're very different. Yeah, that whole scene is great.
So, Ven's heart's in Sora.
Yeah.
Sora loses his heart when he saves Kairi,
Yeah.
releasing the nobody, and he becomes the heartless, but then also releasing a nobody, and we have Roxas,
Yeah. Who looks like Ven?
who looks like Ven.
I
So
think
really, is Roxas the nobody of Ven, or are we still going to consider it just Sora's nobody?
I think the thing is like Roxas just looks like Ven because he's a reflection of a part of Sora that we didn't know about.
Right, because Ven and Sora's heart are actually it's
Right.
merged, so it's
Yeah.
And in talking about the nobody, Sora kind of have to talk about Vanitas and his appearance.
Yeah. It's like there's so many like weird little things. So like there's that opening scene, right, where Xehanort is leaving Ventus at the Destiny Islands after breaking his heart in half.
Mhm.
And he's like he's gonna die. And he just decided to take him to where he was from, where Xehanort is from, which is Destiny Islands, which we get a nice little image of young Xehanort. I think we only get one shot of that.
Yep.
Of young Xehanort in his full like dream drop distance appearance at Destiny Islands. But yeah, he takes him there, and then that's like a few years before the game starts. It's like the day Sora is born.
Mm-hmm.
And so when his heart is on his way to his body from Kingdom Hearts, presumably, it touches Ven's heart and like puts like a Band-Aid on it so that way he doesn't die. So like Vanitas looks like the way he does because of Sora touching Ven's heart, and then Roxas looks the way he does because of Ven touching Sora's heart.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Roxas and Vanitas are kind of like weirdly two very similar halves. But I think they've gone out of their way with stuff since Birth by Sleep and just like how they have talked about Roxas to make it clear that he is also his own
person. Like Roxas is becoming the prodigal son here. Like,
yeah.
That's why I thought of that, because then you mentioned something, I think, in Kingdom Hearts 2, where we find out in Birth by Sleep, where I don't know, I forgot how you worded it. You said it was very important that for Sora, once he was like basically reborn into Sora, that's his whole.
That's important in Dream Drop Distance.
Okay.
I might have misspoke when we talked about Kingdom Hearts 2, but
okay, so
there's a whole thing like if you've lost your body, it becomes mechanically important later.
Oh my
god. But yeah, so I don't like that. The whole Sora, Roxas, Vanitas, Ventus, like that, like circle of characters, I think is really interesting. Like how they have affected each other, because I imagine that, the hole that Vanitas left in Ventus's heart was filled like by part of Sora's heart, which was like somehow both in Sora and in Ventus at the same time. Because Sora's special and unique, and we learn about that more in Dream Drop Distance as well. But that informed me. I imagine like Vanitas before then just looked like Ventus, and his appearance changed because literally the part of Ventus's heart that he was filled in by another person, and that's why he physically changed. That's how I always interpreted it.
Okay.
But obviously I don't know for sure.
But that makes sense though.
Yeah.
Like that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, just like I always
sense in a Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think there's room to infer with this stuff that isn't like too wild. I don't think I'm too far off base there if I am. But like I always saw Roxas as like he doesn't look like Sora because there's another part of Sora that we've never known about, and that's Ventus, and he's just like looks that way, just to kind of key us into there's more to Sora than meets the eye, not that he is just Ven. I that is how I always interpreted it.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about Aqua?
I really liked Aqua. I liked her character more playing through it recently. I felt really bad when it came to the scene of the three of them meeting up again in Radiant Garden with that boss. And then Ven telling Aqua, "You're awful," and running away. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys are dicks.
She is the mom of the three of them.
She is. And it's like, almost was like seeing a part, like, I mean, you could see some of the jealousy coming from Terra that, he wasn't going to
right off the bat,
Keyblade master in the beginning. And then those two saying like it's gotten to her head. But I think she was like the most
level-minded.
Yeah, the most level-minded in the whole entire group. And it's like she's thinking not even what's happening at this moment, but even what could happen afterward. What are the consequences? And it's like,
yeah,
I really liked her character a lot more.
She's such a strong character. Like she's so powerful. Like, yeah, and she's so smart. And she does so much. Like she does so many, like she's just like a total badass. She's like what I imagine like a Jedi master would be, right? Yeah. Like she is like a Keyblade master. And she proves that time and time again, like making Castle Oblivion, making this literal maze that only she can navigate to the one room that everyone wants to get to, which is really cool. And I don't know, like her saving Terra and that whole fight, and like thinking like she overcame Xehanort at like his peak strength, which is something even Terra couldn't do. Like it cost her everything, but she still beat him, stuff like that. And then you think about that, and like, did you guys end up playing the final mix chapter, like the additional chapter where she goes through the realm of darkness?
So like, is that part of the point two or no?
No, that's part of that's technically like Birth by Sleep Volume 2, I think is what it was initially thought to be.
Right.
And it was like rebooted into this demo for Kingdom Hearts 3, or this prologue for it. But there's like an extra chapter. I forget how you get it. You have to do something like some extra thing. But it's like a chapter of Aqua going through the Land of Darkness.
I've seen the cutscenes. Like I ended up watching the cutscene because it was going to take too long, and I wouldn't have been able to finish it in time to get that. So basically, that scene was like the 4 giant darkness monsters looking at it, and then the 2 keyblades.
Yeah,
you're at that part, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And then she fights like this creature that we've never seen before, which people call like the Red Eyes, but it's like a type of pure Heartless that we've never seen before. But that's like her first encounter with Heartless, and she's never seen those things because they don't exist yet in this world. So it's super minor, but it is just kind of setting up for 0.2 even more. But yeah, like to think you take all that in of like all this shit that Aqua's been through, and she still never gave up, and then that is what builds into like seeing her get Norded in Kingdom Hearts 3 of like she gave up. She went as literally for 10 years as long as she could, and she broke. And knowing how strong she is, and like that's why that point is so emotional for a lot of us.
Especially that ending when she got the hope of everyone you get nominate, everybody saying Sora, and it's just like there's the hope right there. And so you would think like through that she was gonna make it through, and then like now thinking back on the Kingdom Hearts 3 where she's Norded, I'm like, damn.
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know how she gets there, and like that's part of what makes like 3 so exciting. And so like, that's another loose end that we're waiting on. But yeah, there's even more that you guys haven't seen in 0.2 that I don't want to get into, but there's good stuff in there too. I'm trying to think. How do you guys feel about 13 darknesses and 7 lights?
I know that's what Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah, we're getting in there. I think Xehanort mentions it in this game, so we're getting into the weeds with that. I'm trying to think any other big like things that people are confused about in this game.
I wasn't confused about much because mostly this game serves as to connect everything else. We discussed how 2 kind of does like start make everything batshit. Like they just tons of questions, no answers in that game. Birth by Sleep answered a lot of it.
Yeah.
There's still some stuff. Like, what the hell
there's
is
like
the secret?
there's probably only like a few questions that are unanswered at this time. Like either Birth by Sleep or either Dream Drop Distance will answer maybe, or if Kingdom Hearts 3 will answer it, or maybe something else. Who knows? Like the character that she's talking to at the end, who like Aqua's talking to, that's in a cloak. That looks like
Ants and the Wise.
Yeah, that's Ants and the Wise.
Yeah. Which
how did he get there?
How did he get there? What is he doing?
Yeah, I like that stuff. We still don't really have a firm answer on. So, and I don't know how that's gonna play into 3. I had a few theories about this game. For me, I think they were probably testing out a way to play 3 different characters to see if that's something they wanted to do in Kingdom Hearts 3. And obviously, the game after this in Dream Drop Distance, you play as Riku and Sora, so you're still playing multiple characters. But as far as we know, we don't play more than Sora in Kingdom Hearts 3. But you're gonna play more than Sora.
You're gonna. There's so many ways this game can go, and especially with the new trailer that they put out for Kingdom Hearts 3, which, if you don't want major spoiler, not even major spoilers, if you don't want to be surprised, go ahead and watch it. But if you want to leave some surprises, don't watch that new trailer.
If you want a whole lot of questions, watch any of the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers.
Except for the Frozen one. The Frozen one's pretty clear.
Yeah, it's very clear.
But like the trailer that came out before this last one, like the flash right before the title screen of that character, and just his back is like, what? Like, is that him?
Yeah. Oh man. There's like, again, because there is still more connective tissue to some characters.
That Jake and I haven't gotten
So
to.
like there's stuff in Dream Drop Distance, there's stuff in 0.2 especially gets super weird because I recently replayed that and it's like, man, this is weird. But it kind of makes sense when I'm seeing these Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers. I'm like, okay, like they're really building to something here.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
luckily I haven't spoiled myself on Dream Drop Distance or 0.2, so
I don't think you could spoil Dream Drop Distance. It is super convoluted. Like there are moments in it for sure, but like there's a whole lot of like, man, what the fuck? Like the thing is, like after we talk about it, I think it'll make a lot of sense. But I think after you finish Dream Drop Distance, there's gonna be parts like, I don't know, like how this worked. It's pretty clear front to back, kind of like Birth by Sleep is after you've seen all of it, but they're just questions afterwards.
I remember a question I had after watching the recent trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 that I need to send to you separately because I know Matt hasn't watched it, right? You only showed it to...
No, I did. I finally did, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Keep in
right.
mind, like I've watched it probably the least of all. I've only seen it like the one time on.
Yeah, I only watched it once.
I only watched it once too, but I paused it at a certain point, and I'm just like, what?
I was watching it like on my computer on my lap while hosting an Extra Life stream, and like with subtitles on, so I didn't hear anything, and I didn't really know what they were saying, and I only saw like visually at once. Like the most I got out of it was like the world that they showed. Which
yeah, I've
we all
been
expected
seeing
to be there.
rumors about that. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I really don't know what happened in that trailer, and I'm kind of cool with that. So
Yeah, there's just one scene where it's like they showed a character, and I'm like, is he holding what I think he's holding? And it's just,
yeah,
I don't know. It's
I'm trying to think anything else Birth by Sleep related. Matt, where would you rank this in your Kingdom Hearts love?
I'm right there with Jake. It's not my second favorite. I think it holds a candle to 1 and 2, like all 3 of those games. Like, Jake, I was telling Alex when you stepped away briefly, like, when they announced the 3 Kingdom Hearts games after 2, like Code Ed, Birth by Sleep, and 356.
358.
Yeah.
258. 358?
358.
Numbers. Division. Like, I was worried, and a lot of people were too, like, we're not getting Kingdom Hearts 3, but, like, as soon as you saw Birth by Sleep and actually played through it, like, you realize, oh, this actually is Kingdom Hearts 3 for all intents and purposes. So it's up there. It's either 2 or 3. Like, it's a fluid ranking system. So yeah, it's either 2 or 3. Kingdom Hearts 2 is still number 1 for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Story wise, I feel like Birth by Sleep is just great. Like
story wise, it's definitely better in 1. Like 1 doesn't have.
Yeah. And it's like I like the combat. Like I could have done without some of the command decks. Like,
so I actually really enjoyed my time with the commands and like merging them to create new commands and stuff like that. I strangely had a lot of fun doing that. Of which I'm also one of the 3 here that actually enjoyed Chain of Memories, so I guess maybe that's not too weird.
I like Chain of Memories.
yeah, I just
have beef with it, you know?
Yeah.
It's definitely rough.
Yeah.
Aggravating at times too. But yeah, no, I actually really enjoyed the system. I didn't really use the shot lock command that much.
Yeah, shot lock I never really used.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot how to use it. Replaying it, I'm just like, forget it. I'm not even gonna bother.
Super clutch if you're trying to go for the challenge bosses. It's so weird that like of all of the mechanics of Birth by Sleep, they're bringing in the 3. Shot lock is one of them. Like it's like, all right, I guess. But like the extra bosses, I don't know if you guys did any of them. They're like ungodly difficult in Birth by Sleep. They're the one. It's the only one where I didn't do all of them.
Wow.
Alex doesn't
But,
have a platinum. What's going on here?
I platinuming Birth by Sleep seems like a really miserable bad time. But yeah, the shotlock commands like do a gross amount of damage once you get like the kind of late game ones. There's one that Aqua gets that where she just teleport attacks everyone and she's like invincible during it. It's fucking awesome.
Right.
But yeah, like it's cool because you can fight versions of Ericus and Xehanort in their Keyblade armor. The big reveal here is that, or kind of like gameplay mechanical reveal. If you there's this arena, Mirage Arena, which is actually
Yeah,
a multiplayer
I messed around
mode.
with that a little bit.
Yeah. In order to get like the secret ending, you have to do some with Terra because one of his Xehanort reports is in there. So after you've beat the game and done all the extra stuff, you can go to the Mirage Arena and fight. That's where you fight the Keyblade armor versions of Ericus and Xehanort. Xehanort's Keyblade armor is the actual armor that you fight as one of the phases of the final boss in KindaNYC 2. Which is cool. So like Xemnas' armor stage where he's like on the big Leviathan and you're fighting him.
King Xemnas.
That's his Keyblade armor. So again, like there's little references back and forth there that are really cool. But I think just like the implications of Birth by Sleep of like, Xemnas was obsessed with Castle Oblivion and finding the Chamber of Sleeping because there was this part of him that longed to find that he didn't understand, right? He had Aqua like chained up, the armor that Aqua left with him that saved his life when he was still human, chained up in his basement that he talked to. But like we don't know if Xemnas was all there, if Terra was all there still, and if he even knew who he was talking to. Stuff like that. Like it informs those characters in a really cool way. Like he spent all those months wasted at Castle Oblivion for half of his people to betray him because he was looking for Ven, because he was his best friend. He's all he had. Like, but he probably didn't know he was looking for Ven, which just makes like Xemnas as a character like way more fucking depressing, but nuanced and really cool and interesting.
You talking about all that just
that also brings something to my mind too.
That brings a very big what the hell question. Xemnas isn't a nobody.
So Xemnas is a nobody of Xehanort in Terra's body.
Yeah. That's where
so like when Apprentice Xehanort like renamed himself to Ansem and then like ripped his heart out and became a nobody.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's it when he created Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and Xemnas.
I forgot that because that was my second question. Where the hell did Ansem come from? That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And it's still weird that like Xemnas is like Xemnas and not like Xehanort with another X in it or something, because like that was just his pseudonym that he then turned into his pseudonym of his pseudonym. Like it's so stupid.
Yeah, because what was his name? Before he became the nobody.
It was just Xehanort.
No. It starts with the B.
Bragg.
Yeah, because he was trying to see if he remembered it, if he was Xehanort.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that was like the clue, and like he doesn't know.
Yeah, it's so weird because we don't know what Apprentice Xehanort was like, but like there is like clearly two parts of him of each of the two people that he forgot he was, which again super fucked up. But like also Terra managed to stay alive in that body in some way because Ericus's heart went into Terra's heart, which is a thing they kind of brush under the rug very
exactly.
quickly.
Also, which brings me to another question. So where do Xehanort and Terra lie after the split?
That's the thing we don't know.
Yeah.
That's why it's like that's very important for Kingdom Hearts 3 because and they talk about this in Recoded about the whole thing of what happens when your nobody and your heartless go away, right?
Okay.
That's important to what we're about to get into, so Recoded or Coded, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Coded.
But
very
but
short. Go ahead, yeah.
Before that. So like when you have this whole emotional thing, like where Xemnas is like, he has Aqua's armor, he has this longing for finding Ven.
Mhm.
You have to fight the argument that nobody's do have hearts. Like
Oh,
it's
I got great news for you, Jake. You should really play Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance
right.
because it's got some answers for you. Uh, yeah,
I
dude,
mean,
you're
even-
right. Hey, guess
right?
what? You're right.
right? So it also, if you watch the newest trailer with sound, like you kind of get that feeling anyways too, with some of the characters that they show off and some of the dialogue that was even mentioned just briefly in a
There,
clip.
there is a thing that they say, I think in 358 of nobody's can't cry because they don't have hearts, and that is when if you were, for example, to see a
Except
nobody
you play
shed a
Kingdom Hearts
tear,
2 Final Mix, and you see the scene with Roxas and
Roxas and Axel,
Yeah.
if you were to see that scene, you would think, huh, that doesn't line up with the information I know. And
Right.
then they kind of like loop back around to that and
Yeah.
address that specific question.
So it was just fun playing through like that, and then just trying to match up everything from what you see before, and you're like, something's off here.
Yeah,
But-
I don't like. I think that is honestly a really fun thing where they actively mislead you for an entire game.
right.
Parts 2, where everyone is telling Sora, no, they don't have hearts, they don't have feelings, they can't feel anything, and he just believes that and fucking murders everyone.
Right.
But like the truth is more gray, and I think that is really cool.
Yeah, I have
Boy, what an
something-
emotional mess Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be.
Oh,
I have
dude,
something
hell
fun
yes.
planned for you guys for our episode, the recap. I'm busting out my giant whiteboard.
Yeah,
And-
dude. I got a giant whiteboard now too, so we can.
Oh, it's gonna be
Oh,
fun.
it's gonna be needed. It's gonna be needed.
Okay, let's go over Coded because it's gonna
Alright.
come back up in a
Here we
second.
go.
Yeah.
So, Jake, I actually lied to you. Coded isn't after Kingdom Hearts 2. It's actually right before the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. Jiminy, curious about the thanks nominee line in his journal, in turn causes him to find another message. We must return to free them from their torment. To investigate, Mickey digitizes the context of the journal and enters the simulated world, awakening a data Sora to sort through and uncover who them are. Through many trials and tribulations, Mickey eventually brings Data Sora to Castle Oblivion, and after facing off against a Data Roxas, meets face to face with Naminé. She reveals the bugs were a side effect of her restoring Sora's memories, and that Sora is the key that connects everything. Through his ties with Roxas, Exxon,
Xion.
and herself.
Oh, you just gave up.
Exxon! Also, that Terra, Ven, and Aqua are tied to his heart and are the ones mentioned that need his help. Upon learning all this, Mickey sends Sora a bottled letter, which is the very same bottle that appears at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yes, and that letter is explaining this,
Yep.
like all that information, pretty much to Sora of like, hey, there are these people that you don't know, but you're linked to them and you can help them. And we need you and Riku to come to this tower and become Keyblade Masters. Which is setting you up for Dream Drop Distance. So like they say this right at the beginning of Dream Drop Distance. So I don't feel bad for saying it here. Just because it's relevant to like everything that's going on in Birth by Sleep. But when a person's nobody and a person's heartless are destroyed, their heart and body reform in the ether and they come back to life as a whole person. So their heart in their heartless form. It's so weird that heartless are like the physical darkness of your heart, whatever. And the nobody being the body, they come back. So when Xemnas died, after some time passed, Xehanort is coming back in his original form, as we find out right there in Dream Drop Distance. Like that is like if Xemnas and Ansem Seeker of Darkness were destroyed, and they were both technically also Terra and Xehanort's like heartless and nobody respectively because they shared the same body.
But wait,
What happens to Terra?
wait.
Mm-hmm.
If Ansem and Xemnas both destroyed, when are they reconvene as Terra Xehanort?
That's what you would think. But I think I don't know if Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to get into it, but it seems like there are rules at play if that you try and pull the bullshit that Xehanort pulled of swapping bodies and doing
That
that
it would
kind
go
of
back
stuff.
to the original form.
Yeah, you're going to go back to the original. You're going to get punished for that.
And
Is
that
how I
Terra
interpret it. Terra might have gotten lost in the
Either.
shuffle, and that could be a part of what Kingdom Hearts 3 is all about.
And also,
Yeah.
where is Eraqus's heart?
That's what so my
Does
theory right
Eraqus have
now.
a nobody?
Does it? Yeah, it's just what happened to Eraqus. Did Eraqus just straight up die? Is the thing.
Right.
I think Eraqus didn't have darkness in his heart, so he couldn't have become a heartless. And the way he died, I don't think he could become a nobody either.
But his
I
heart's in Terra.
But his heart's in Terra, so
Right.
he's not completely gone.
I feel like if he went through and killed Ventus, then there would have been darkness that
Yeah.
came about. But because it didn't happen, that's why he didn't have the.
My thing is like I think that is all kind of like this message of like absolute light is also not necessarily a good thing. Like that Eraqus could have killed Ventus without. It's kind of like the old philosophy argument of like if you are so absolute in everything that you do, if it's good and you do evil tasks, is it still evil?
Well,
Like I think Eraqus would have still had a heart of pure light.
there's also the brightest light will cast the darkest shadow.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Terra is, right? Because he's like his son. Anyway, that whole like I don't know how Eraqus's heart protecting Terra's heart. Like I don't know how that's going to come back into play, but I would bet that if we were to see Terra drifting in the land of darkness in Eraqus's Keyblade armor, that would be a good visual way to bring all that information back
Mm-hmm.
into Kingdom Hearts 3, which I think would also be like a really cool thing to see. Because
Boy,
we wouldn't recognize it right away, I think.
I'm gonna feel bad for anybody that's just gonna play Kingdom Hearts 3 and nothing else.
Yeah, right?
You know there's going to be a lot of people because that game is hyped up.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
but-
the good thing is like I think they're still going to have a really fun mechanical experience.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
just wish they would release the all-in-one package on Xbox too for all those players. Like,
I agree.
Yeah. I assume there is some kind of licensing agreement.
there's probably
with
like a
Sony
deal.
has some rights to publishing that game or having that game on their platform.
they probably
But
At the
it'll
same
probably
time,
be
it's like,
released after
why
3
put it
comes
on
out.
Xbox?
yeah.
So they probably struck a
Yeah.
deal to keep it so they can.
Yeah, because I mean they got the PS4 exclusive
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts.
So
system coming
if I had to
out, so-
imagine, we'll probably see the older games appear on Xbox One late next year or something.
Maybe.
Like
Yeah, I imagine it's probably some time thing. I'm all for just games just being available
Yeah.
on more platforms. So.
Yeah.
that. Like, okay,
I-
the studio exclusives stay to whatever platform, but
Yeah.
third party, stop.
The-
Just stop.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
feel bad for the people who want to play Kingdom Hearts 3 but haven't played the original. And then, if they want to play it, then they're going to have to buy a PS4. And it's like, why spend all that money? Like, I wish it was just available for them right now
Yeah.
if we're going to play Kingdom Hearts 3 on all systems.
Because
I wish it was
Hearts
available
is
for
a
them
franchise that
A couple
captured
months
all of our
ago,
hearts.
because there's a lot of games to play through before the end of January.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is a theory that I've seen, and I know we're not quite at like the theory stage of this, but I want to throw this at you so you guys can think about it and chew on it going into Dream Drop Distance. So like we're up to like 3 different kinds of Kingdom Hearts. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up.
Yeah.
But like there's the Kingdom Hearts that you get to with all the Princesses of Light.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Kingdom Hearts you get to, or you create
Collecting
by
hearts.
collecting hearts from Heartless, and then there's like the true Kingdom Hearts that you can only get to with the Keyblade,
Mm-hmm.
which has been broken into 20 pieces for fucking whatever reason. So there is another theory that because they are so unique in their ability to connect people in an abstract way, that Sora might actually
It'd
be
be Kingdom Hearts.
And there's a specific moment toward the end of Dream Drop
Hmm.
Distance that like was the first moment where I was like, man, this might be fucking something. So I want you guys just to think about that going into that game, because we think about like Sora's heart touching Ven's right when
Sora's
he
heart
needed
has
it.
touched everyone. Sora's heart is
Yeah,
a
Sora's
slut,
heart gets
man.
around.
Is Sora's heart really Sora's heart anymore? Like at this
Yeah.
point.
But I really like that as a way to it's like a surprise for the end of the franchise or for the end of this story in the franchise. So, I don't know. I think that's a cool
the
theory.
Nord edition of this franchise.
The Nord edition of this franchise, where he's got to put all of his heart in everyone, and he's got to Nord everyone himself.
Which brings us to the Nort report.
We got Norded, man. It's time for some Norts.
Woo! And yeah, I actually have an image that everyone will have seen by now on the video that pops up right there, and it's
Terra
fantastic.
Nort. Like, did you guys know what was going to happen when it was happening? I mean,
I spoiled
yeah.
all the way back then. Had an idea of it just because when you play Kingdom Hearts 2 and you see Xehanort, or like the apprentice dude, and then you play Birth by Sleep and you boot it up, I'm like, this guy looks like the apprentice,
Yeah.
but he has yellow eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's going on? I think it was, man, it's just super fucked up. Like, it is like the first big, like, man, I hate you, Xehanort moment of like, he's just like, literally, I'm gonna just throw my
I'm
decrepit
just
old body
taking
away.
your ass, man.
Yeah.
It's mine.
But yeah, I love Xehanort as just like this masterful, like cackling, finger twiddling, like string pulling villain of like, everything was always a part of the plan. He was gonna make Ven and Vanitas fight. They were gonna make the Keyblade. He was gonna take Terra's body. Vanitas was gonna kill Aqua. He would then like just stroll right into Kingdom Hearts and like rebuild the world as balanced in his eyes. Like, it was such a cool master plan that did not work out.
No, but how close he got to it was just so damn surprising too. It's just like he just knew how to work the darkness with Terra.
And then
up to that point,
something happened that hasn't happened since. Terra's consciousness is in his armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His will. And like, I will say the one thing about that most recent Kingdom Hearts trailer is like how that is like still fucking important. Like, that still matters.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, because you see like Xehanort, who's like clearly this old dude who has learned everything by hand. Like, he has traveled and seen everything. And like his reaction to seeing the lingering will is like, what the fuck is going on? And it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. Like, yeah, there's just so many moments of, especially if you played Final Mix of Kingdom Hearts 2 and you're like, oh shit, like this is how this happened.
Yeah.
And also like, this is the Keyblade graveyard is where Sora was there. Like, he went there and he didn't see the Keyblades, but he was there.
Yeah.
Like,
And
cool.
You just know that's going to be an area in Kingdom Hearts 3, and boy, I just can't wait to go there.
It's where everything's gonna end, man.
Yeah, I just can't wait. Like, there's a lot of stuff that just like you see in Birth by Sleep, and
Except there is still one question
Mm-hmm.
that none of these games have answered.
Yeah.
That I'm still not sure that Kingdom Hearts 3 will answer. Do you know what their question is?
No, is it what's in the box?
No.
All right.
Where is Sora's mom?
Fucking young Xehanort rolled up with a gun and murdered her.
listen,
We get
You
one
can't-
line of Sora's mom in Kingdom Hearts. That's it.
you know what? Even if they treated it like Toy Story and like for Andy's mom, just like don't show her face throughout the whole entire thing. But if we just see like part of her body, just know she truly exists.
What if she comes up at the end of the game and just kicks everyone's ass and grounds Sora?
She just
That's
pulls
how
out
the
a
game ends.
Keyblade.
Here's my theory. Since we never see her, she's in Sora's heart, and when she calls out to Sora, it's really a subconscious.
Through his heart.
Yeah, through his
So
heart.
Sora's an
It's-
orphan. He's actually just living alone.
He was created by Kingdom Hearts. He's just an
That's
orphan.
so sad.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's the price you got to pay for being the child of death.
God.
Right?
And as much as Dream Drop Distance is going to also throw us for a loop, the next month, with 0.2, I am writing a report on Kingdom Hearts Key or Union Cross.
Because you're the only
You're
one.
committed to this.
Oh,
Again, I don't
Because
know.
the only
You already
reason
played it, right?
I've played some, I haven't finished it.
Okay.
The only reason being is because Nomura says like you need to play Union, which the US is actually not going to get the final update before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. So I'm going to have to watch a translated video of the final events in Union Cross before 3 comes out, because he swears that these like it's very important to Kingdom Hearts 3. That is the only reason I'm doing any of this research. And all of the stuff that happens in these isn't mentioned anywhere else in the Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah. I think like the only place where that stuff comes into play is like the Unchained Key movie video.
So that's
still like
cutscenes.
before all that stuff.
That's cutscenes that were taken from Kingdom Hearts Key.
Yeah.
Before it became Union Cross, which added more story. It's a lot of stuff, guys.
Because that's where the what's in the box thing comes from.
It's a lot of stuff.
Oh boy.
It's a lot
There's
of
a
stuff.
whole like there's still like mysteries that you guys don't even know exist yet. Like questions you don't even know to ask yet.
The
Like, what's in
only
the
question
box?
is like,
Oh my god.
is Unchained,
Brad
is
Pitt- Brad Pitt's
Key,
in the box.
is Union Cross leading up to what happens after Kingdom Hearts 3? Like what the next story will be is what I'm thinking. Because so far it doesn't really have any cross.
Yeah, I like it's cool
And-
because like Kingdom Hearts is gonna keep going after Kingdom Hearts 3.
Right,
after
and
the,
I don't want them to take like all this lore that like only a select few people actually know about with Unchained and Union Cross and make it a huge deal in 3. Because even the diehard fans like us and everything like that, you two are basically like, I don't care about Union Cross and stuff like that. It's like it would hurt Kingdom Hearts 3 story.
I think they are going to explain a lot of that stuff in 3. Like a big thing that we still literally know nothing about is the Keyblade War, which is a big part of Union Cross. But like the first ever real trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 that we saw was like Xehanort and Ericus sitting down as students like playing chess talking about the Keyblade War.
Yeah.
So I imagine that we will see a lot of flashbacks in Kingdom Hearts 3 that are kind of filling in those gaps.
Oh, and those chess pieces.
Yeah, gotta get that
Yeah.
chess set. There's gonna be $1,000 on eBay at some point.
No, but I mean like the heads on the chess pieces and how they're the keychains.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna be buck wild, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm taking a week off work. I'm committing to it.
I might just quit work. Just play.
You're gonna be fucking depressed.
Just got a new
afterwards.
job finally after months. Like, guys, I'm
I
out.
quit. I'm out.
Done, actually. This game fucked me up. Fucked me right up.
And Alex is sick again right now, if you guys can't tell. After
Yeah.
Extra Life. And like Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, Alex is gonna play it, gonna get sick and just do this podcast from his bed,
I'll get
dying.
emotionally sick. Yeah, I'll be on my deathbed.
It's like Kingdom Hearts 3 is done. I'm out.
This is it. I'm not even gonna wait for Devil May Cry 5. I'm good.
Or oh god, Devil May Cry is getting a new cartoon too, apparently.
What a world we live in. The next Netflix video game series is gonna be a Kingdom Hearts series, and it's gonna be great.
My god.
There were rumors that there was a
Storylines.
movie years ago being worked on.
I don't want a movie, but if we can get a TV series of Kingdom Hearts, I think that'd be
Kingdom Hearts anime would be very appropriate.
yeah. And it doesn't even have to be a Sora storyline either. Actually, I would prefer it not to be a Sora storyline. Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is really good.
Yeah, Birth by Sleep. This is the game where it's like, man, there's like a lot of group of threes. Aqua, then Terra, then you have Shion, Roxas, and Axel as the 3. Then you have Sora, Riku, Kairi. Then you also have Mickey, Goofy, Donald as a 3 as well. And it's just like, I feel like these groups of 3, man.
You got Ericus, Xehanort, and Master Yen Sid as well.
Yeah. Shout out to Mickey in Birth by Sleep, man.
Yeah.
Like he just to see how much more powerful he's gotten through the years, like compared from Birth by Sleep till now.
That's the I believe it's the last performance in Kingdom Hearts, at least, of that voice actor for Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And Dream Drop Distance, the first one with the new voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
Yeah, a lot of voice actors come and gone through the Kingdom Hearts series, unfortunately.
At least we
That
always
tells you
have
how long
Goofy.
Kingdom Hearts is gone.
We
Yeah.
always have Goofy. Who said
true.
Kingdom Hearts
Goofy-
3 was coming out 3 years ago?
Yeah. Also, what's it? Ansem the Wise, his voice actor is different in this game and going forward.
Mm-hmm.
It was before. I can't remember the actor.
Christopher Lee. It was before his
Lee.
passing. But
It's before his passing, but he had stepped down from that role.
Yep.
It's now the same voice actor that does Yen Sid, who does a totally fine job. So
Yeah. It's not a difference like when you go from the first with the first Ansem when you fight at the end and like you have Billy Zane and then it
Billy
goes to,
fucking
like,
Zane, dude. Is he
Bring him
back
back.
in Dream Drop
Bring him back.
Distance?
guess what? Reprising his role in all other Kingdom Hearts games, still he's coming back in Dream Drop this.
Billy Zane!
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yes, that's right. Xemnas and Ansem Seeker of Darkness have two different voice actors, and they sound different, and they're both in Dream Drop Distance, and they talk to each other at one point. It's very weird. I hope you guys are ready.
We're gonna have to do Dream Drop Distance as like a 2-parter from the sounds
It's
of it.
it's
my
gonna
God.
get it'll be about as long as this, but I think you guys will have a lot more questions.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we'll have to do like the story and how we felt playing the game, and then part 2 will have to be all of the questions.
Lore Q&A.
I honestly thought I was going to have more questions from Birth by Sleep, but
Yeah.
it actually had a lot of answers
Mhm.
at the same time, which is great.
It is very much that filling in the gaps game after 2 Final Mix.
My only question is
Yeah.
about the Keyblade armors and the gliders.
Mhm.
About like how come any of the new Keyblade wielders don't have them.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if we see them Sora and
man, if
Riku
Sora and
get that
Riku
in
armor
3.
up.
Yeah, I think like that's for sure got to happen. Again, a cool thing that is probably in 3 that we haven't seen at all. So like I wouldn't feel bad about the trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3 too bad. Like I definitely think they're holding stuff back. But yeah, I assume it's just a thing like no one taught Riku and Sora about that. Like there were no Keyblade masters.
Mhm.
Well,
So-
Yin said, but he's not doing shit.
Yeah, he's retired, man.
Yeah.
It's like,
He's out of
read
the
this
game.
book.
I like.
Get
I
out of
don't,
my
I don't
time.
know if they show a cutscene with Yen Sid holding a Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 3. Like I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that.
That's actually been one of my theories. Like that's gonna happen. Like he's gonna throw off his robe and have
gonna
like
look
Keyblade
weird.
armor. Be like, that's it.
Like I don't know if I'm here for that. Is a very long.
Yin is
beard.
down to lay the smack down.
File that under do not want.
You know what? Like I'm cool with Yen Sid being like I'm not fighting anymore, guys. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Then do you
I'm okay
think
with that?
that Master Xehanort might actually go after Yin Sid in the early hours of the game?
I
Dude.
really hope so because I want to
Dude.
just see dialogue between the two of them.
Can you imagine if that happened and say Master Yen Sid dies? How
That was
pissed off Mickey Mouse would be.
that was the reverse theory.
You
of
thought
mine.
he was
like,
pissed off when
either-
Goofy died.
Oh god.
Yeah. It's gonna be like a full Kenobi like Vader scene too. Like
Yeah.
and that's awesome. Like I think
Yeah.
that would totally be because they like Nomura is out there saying like, "Yo, we're fucking doing some things in Kingdom Hearts 3. Like we're not pulling any punches. People are
Can
gonna
you
be
see
upset."
the robe and the hat falling like a
Yeah,
kid?
just falling like the Mickey Mouse like Fantasia hat just
Yeah.
Oh, and
puffing to
then
the
Mickey
ground.
wears the hat later in the game and just wrecks
Yeah.
shop.
holding 2 Keyblades, of course.
Summons
Yeah.
all sorts of brooms and just lays waste
Or one of the Keyblades is like a broom.
the broom.
you know?
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Oh my god.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna be great.
It is.
Fuck the haters.
Oh god.
How
Yeah.
long do you think this game has to be at a minimum?
40 hours minimum.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it'll be 40 hours. I don't think it'll be
Yeah.
it'll be as long as Kingdom Hearts 2,
Yeah.
and it'll be fine.
Mhm.
Because that game is like really long, honestly. So
Yeah. I'm just wondering if they're going to do the whole. I hope we don't have to visit the world twice, kind of like Kingdom Hearts 2 in a way.
Yeah,
Because I feel like
fair.
there's going to be a lot.
I bet we will have to.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I can't know for sure. It's literally been over 10 years since Kingdom Hearts 2 came out,
And we've only
video game design has
seen,
changed so
like
much.
how many worlds so far?
6.
Yeah. So there's got to be a grip of worlds we haven't even seen yet.
I don't know. I think we might have seen most of the worlds for Kingdom Hearts 2. I think there's gonna be a lot of
There's
like non-Disney worlds. is
Oh
my
yeah,
theory.
yeah, definitely.
So
'Cause-
like you're right in that we haven't seen many worlds, but I think all the other ones that we're gonna see
It's gonna
are
build
not
more
be
off
Disney
of the
worlds.
actual lore of Kingdom Hearts and not Disney.
I mean, we got to go back to Traverse Town at least once, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, we've barely seen any Twilight Town also, which
Yeah.
obviously is going to play a huge part of that story. Traverse Town would be great to go back to. We haven't seen any Radiant Garden at all.
Right. And I feel like that's going to be a
It's going to be
And
huge.
the question
Yeah.
of like, where are they on the cover? Like,
Yeah. Where's this weird Midnight Town?
like it almost
Dusk
looks
Town.
like a mix between World That Never Was and Twilight Town.
yeah. And then I mean, we also have to go back
Maybe
to
it's Kingdom Hearts.
It's Kingdom Hearts. They're in
And-
Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, we also have to go back to where Ben is, you know?
Castle Oblivion is definitely
Castle
going to be in that
Oblivion,
game.
Yeah. So I
Like-
mean,
My theory for like what Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to play out as is that you play as Riku and Sora, and Riku is doing like all of like the behind the scenes shit, like he's saving Aqua and all that,
Mhm.
and then Sora's doing all the Disney worlds.
can
I don't
you
know how that's
imagine?
going to work, but
Can you imagine the scene of if like when Aqua sees Riku or even Sora just
Well, except Sora would have to be the one to go with Aqua to go get Ven, not Riku.
yeah, but they don't know that yet.
yeah,
No one knows that yet.
yeah.
But if they get to Aqua, assuming she's not Norded,
So there's a development that happens in Dream Drop Distance. We'll get to this. We'll revisit this.
Okay.
I'm literally starting like Dream Dot's Distance tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, I have the day
There's-
off. I'm gonna play
yeah.
a bulk of it. So,
we're gonna revisit this many times, I'm sure.
and
Mhm.
spoiler for next. Did you guys get the sweater?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'll still get it.
There's 30%
Amazon
off site
Prime.
wide right now.
I was gonna do Black Friday, see if they were doing anything more for Black Friday.
I think that's their Black Friday deal.
Oh,
Like,
that is their Black Friday. Okay.
Go get it. I already bought mine.
Okay. All right.
It's gonna be holiday
Okay.
themed.
It's gonna be amazing. All three of us wearing the same sweater.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to open a window. Like, it's gonna be way too warm in here.
It's gonna be nice and cold here in Maryland.
Right?
I can tell my like really depressing Dream Drop Distance story where I drove to New York to see if I could get that game early and didn't.
Oh no.
That would
Yeah.
be a great episode.
Yeah,
opener.
it'll be a nice pick me up.
Oh man. Hey guys, do you want to be as sad as Tara? Here you go. Here's this.
Man, yeah. Also, like, I like Birth by Sleep a lot because it's like super fucking depressing. There is
It
no
really
part
is.
of there's no part of the end of this game that is not upsetting.
Right?
That
You knew, like, going through the story, you weren't going to get a happy ending, knowing it was leading up into Kingdom Hearts and all that. But, man, they really did go super depressing.
they went real like deep in the black in this one.
Yeah.
I don't know what that one is.
It's like the chibi
Oh, it's
characters.
the chibi, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
that's the Sora at the end of Recoded, saying thank you,
that is
or RE coded, however you say it.
like you said, Jake, like that moment where Sora like saves Ven at the very end is like it's like heart crushing because it's like the only good thing that happens at the end of that game.
Yeah. I mean,
they
Aqua
beat it
seeing-
down.
Aqua seeing Sora and Riku and telling Sora you have to help him when he's
Yeah.
in, and it's like, oh man. And then you just think back in Kingdom Hearts 1 and how much he went through to try
Yeah,
and
he
save
did
Riku.
everything to save him.
Exactly.
And it's like, man, like again, it like you guys said, like going back through that series, like the scene at the end of 2 where it's Sora and Riku just together and like they just love each other so much
Yeah.
and like they would do anything for each other. It's like so much more powerful when you know how much everyone is sacrificed to get them there.
And then seeing the secret ending where everyone mentions Sora's name and then Sora telling Kairi like I have to help them. It's
Yeah.
just it's just like a nice cherry on top of like all the stories combined together of where they went and where they're at now and where we're going to go. in Kingdom Hearts 3.
It's just, Sora is like such a great hero. Like
Yeah.
he's very like bumbly and foolish and silly a lot of times, but like there's so much heart in the series, and he like embodies all of that in such a great way. And like hearing or seeing Aqua react to like this kid that I met, like that was just someone that I saw a good heart in, is like coming to save me, is so powerful.
And that's why it gives me like, it makes me sad thinking about what could the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3 be. Just thinking about like, in order to save everyone, what's gonna have to be sacrificed.
Yeah, people are gonna die. I'm laying it down right now. Like of the big trios, like people are gonna die. Like I don't think Riku or Sora or Kairi might die. I think there's a possibility, but like I don't think Ven, Aqua, and Terra. Like I don't think all three of them are gonna make it to the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, y'all. Like
my whole theory, like I don't want it to happen, but I can see it happening, is Sora actually sacrificing his own heart for everybody else.
I think what ultimately is going to happen, it's something similar to that, is it's going to be Vin.
Yeah. Or Roxas. I think it could be either of them.
Whoever Roxas.
I think it would be great if it was Roxas in a way, for someone who really didn't care as much.
To like come back around.
Yeah, to come back around, because like you said before, like there was so much. It's like, yeah, it's Jesse McCartney doing Roxas and Ven, but it was so different for
super different character. Yeah,
so different. And even like, what's his name? Haley Joel Osment, like even doing
Vanitas.
Vanitas.
It crushed it.
Right? It's like so different. Like you'd have to like listen carefully at some points, like, oh my god, this is the same voice actor. And it's amazing. But
Vanitas is so good. We haven't talked about him a lot, but Vanitas is awesome.
And he's gonna be all over the place in 3. Just from what we've seen already.
And like that scene, like he's just so creepy. The scene where the unverse like gets sucked back into him is like so unsettling. Of like, and also like Vanitas is like this kind of sour note through the whole game of like he is the same, but like all of the emotions he's feeling are manifested as these monsters. And like there's a lot of nuance to that character when you think about it that way, of like how angry he is and just how bitter he is all like the manifestation of these monsters.
Yeah. So it's crazy to just see how much anger and hatred he has.
Yeah.
So since he is walking around, do you think we'll see Unversed in 3?
Yeah, for sure. I think they might have shown some in that last trailer.
That last trailer, like you see like them going up with like that huge crowd. I wasn't sure if I saw Unversed or anything.
Yeah, nobody's
I saw Nobody's in Heartless. I didn't pause it enough to see if there was any Unversed in it, but
I don't want to necessarily say too much here for people that are avoiding those Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers, but I feel like they might have shown some of that kind of stuff in one of the trailers.
Yeah.
Guys,
we're
almost
on a
there.
roller coaster, right?
We're really close. Almost less than 2 months, like just over 2 months from now.
Right.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Are you guys ready emotionally?
No.
Absolutely not. I've been preparing for this day for like more than half my life.
We've been wanting this, and it's finally here. And oh god,
I wanted Kingdom Hearts 3 just from playing Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and then finally playing through these, other stories that are entwined. It's just like, I need this game.
Well, yeah, like there is that group of fans that loved 1 and 2, and then, like I said, like when they announced the 3 games, they felt betrayed and actually didn't touch any of the Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah. Now that you've like started getting into those games, and again, like kind of finishing them for the first time, do you guys like Kingdom Hearts more in like a post Birth by Sleep world, or did you like the more straightforward simplicity of 1 and 2?
No. Like you don't realize like the series actually needed those games until you play them, but yeah.
And it gives you a way more appreciation too about the friendships and how close everyone is, especially like the Sora and Riku friendship. After like the whole scenes in Birth by Sleep, like it's so much more emotion and everything. I'm more interested in these characters now, especially the Terra, Aqua, and Ven.
And it's always a risky move to have a series and then do a game that has nothing to do with those characters. Like, usually there's always going to be backlash, like with Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
But Birth by Sleep, loved it.
Yeah, Birth by Sleep has nothing to do with those characters, but has everything to do with those characters at the same time. It's so great. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think they could pull it off, and they did. In a great way.
It's like that stuff like where like, oh, Aqua casts a spell on Kairi so that when she's like in danger, her heart will move to someone she trusts.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, that's what happened in Kingdom Hearts 1. Like,
Right.
there's a reason that happened, and it was like these characters that we hadn't known doing all this stuff, like setting up all these pieces for us. Like, Riku was supposed to get the Keyblade because Terra bequeathed his to him, but it got lost because he got lost in the darkness, just like Terra did. It's like a lot of like stuff of like, man, like this feels like really enriched in a really cool way that makes me care about everything more.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. It kind of like reminds me a little bit of Rogue One. I don't know if you guys like Rogue One or not.
Oh, yeah.
I like Rogue One. I know a lot of people don't like it, but for me, like it tried to do some cool stuff without stepping on any toes, and ended up like making the things that I liked even better.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Like, I often say that Kingdom Hearts is no more complicated than Harry Potter. And a lot of my feelings on it is like the stuff that the last Harry Potter book does, and like revealing a lot about the kind of backstory of Dumbledore and like his character, is a lot of what Birth by Sleep reminds me of like, oh, like I feel like I know these characters' motivations a lot better, and why everything is happening the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like one of my big points of comparison in my head for that. But yeah, I agree. I think Birth by Sleep, my thing is like, one, if you look at one in a vacuum, it is like a totally different game.
It is.
Like,
It's because it was before all this was fully realized.
Yeah. But like, because like Riku sucks in one. Like, he's such an uninteresting character in
he's
one.
barely there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's barely there. He's super annoying. And like, even the one Final Mix scenes where like you get a little bit of like, oh, Riku, like when he got lost in the islands, he ended up in Hollow Bastion.
But
and,
it's still, it's like Terra's journey. Like, you don't, alone on itself, it's like, I don't care. Like, this.
And then like they, right from one, they started building out all of this. Like, you can super tell like they're creating like this much larger timeline, both forward and backward.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into like Riku's struggles that he was going through in Chain of Memories, and you're like, oh, like this character is way more interesting now. Like, I care about this person way more because I kind of understand the struggle and the journey that they're going through. And yeah, like them paying off on all that is so awesome.
Yeah. And especially like now playing through all these games, like not just the Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, but playing through Chain of Memories, 358 over 2 days, Birth by Sleep. They're necessary. Like, they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
I left out Recoded for a reason, but you know.
It is not necessary.
It's not necessary, but like that last bit of information.
So all that information is summarized in the first 5 minutes of Dream Drop Distance.
Oh,
so like,
well, okay.
yeah.
There's a reason why they did that.
Because everyone knew. But like, the best part about Dream Drop Distance is Riku. And that's like not what I expected going into that game, but walking out of that game, when you like see his kind of full journey and how it's come to fruition by the end of that game, is like, fuck, like I really care about this person now, and I didn't expect that. Like, Sora's also great in it, but Riku is Riku's game, and it's really good.
Which is good. Because I feel like that's what we need. We need a Riku game right now, especially after everything that's going on.
Yeah, and you're gonna get it, and it's Riku's story in that game is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sora story, that's the one that gets complicated. So
great, just great.
It's all complicated, but
I didn't think Kingdom Hearts was this complicated until recently playing through it again. So yeah, awesome.
It's like, honestly, like I said, we'll have a conversation about it, and you're like, I get it, I guess now. And it'll all make sense, but it's like, I don't know why we had to muddy the water so much with Dream Drop Distance. That is like my feeling on it.
Yeah. Well, guys, you know what time it is? Time for us to play Dream Drop Distance and remember what's going on.
Like I said, I'm gonna have to replay that game.
Yeah.
It's got some good worlds in it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Like even Birth by Sleep has some cool worlds in it that we've never been to.
Yeah, is Fantasia in Birth by Sleep?
No?
No.
No.
Then that's in Recoded, sorry. Or not Recoded, Dream Drop Distance.
Okay.
Nice.
I knew there was a Fantasia world. I forgot if it so it's in Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah.
And, we had Cinderella for the first time. Like we've seen her, but we
The
never had
classic.
the-
It's 10
Yeah,
years
yeah, we had
prior.
the-
The classic Disney movies. So
Yeah. So we had some really good, and then we had Stitch in there.
yeah. Which
I love Stitch.
you could tell like they probably wanted to do an actual Lilo and Stitch world in 3, but it's been too long now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except now they announced they are going to do a live action Lilo and Stitch.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Yeah. We'll see if it's good. I
I
hope
want
it
to see
is.
Detective Pikachu, so I'll
Oh
really
my
watch everything
God.
at this
Dude,
point.
that
Can,
game
can,
had,
can we
or
have
that
a
movie had
sidebar about Detective Pikachu?
The Detective Pikachu report.
That movie has no business looking that good.
no business.
Like, you hear the reports like Ryan Reynolds is going to star as Detective Pikachu, and like it's going to be a live action. Like, what? How is this going to work?
I didn't even see that news. How about that?
you didn't
I'm
know
always
until
reading
during
all
the
that
trailer?
stuff.
Yeah, to go into the
Okay.
trailer, and I'm like, Ryan Reynolds is Pikachu.
Deadpool is
What the-
Pikachu?
But one thing I had to wonder though during watching that trailer was, were a lot of the emotions because I was feeling nostalgic because of the song choice.
Mm-hmm.
Because Smash Brothers, this is almost out. That's the song that they used in the first Smash Brothers trailer with Pikachu. And like, was I feeling nostalgic based off the song? Was that getting me hyped for the movie? I watched the trailer like 6 times. No, it's not the song. I want to see that movie so bad.
Yeah, I think that movie's just gonna be like a fun kind of kids movie.
I want
with
a
some
Pokemon
moments.
movie universe now.
I don't know if I want that, but I want
I
this
want
movie.
it. I want the implications of what's causing the ground to move. Like, is Groudon up in him?
Yeah, we're gonna see some legendaries.
Because the poster in the boy's bedroom is Sinnoh, which is what Diamond and Pearl and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, that sounds right.
guys, Pokemon.
Everything's
Pokemon.
good. Video games are good.
Video games are
good, guys.
great, and we're gonna get some answers in a few months.
I'll say this, like you guys got like plenty of fun stuff left before you get to 3. Like I think like these
Yeah.
two things, like 0.2 especially, is gonna feel like a really great little appetizer for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll like I feel like that time's really gonna fly for you guys.
Yeah,
Um,
because really, I mean, technically, we don't have a lot left because we
We have
have
Dream Drop
next-
and 0.2,
Yeah.
that's it.
and then
the Unchained Key thing. but
Unchained Key. So
which
it's like 60 minutes. You'll blow through that. So
yeah,
well, yeah, and I have all the Union Cross stuff I've been writing up.
I mean, you got that
Yeah,
Crucible that you're bearing.
yeah, that's all you, buddy. That's not us.
And I appreciate Matt. I appreciate you because I can't do that.
It's okay.
yeah.
But
You've been the lore master so far. It's my turn.
So
love
for
Kingdom
scheduling purposes, so next month we're definitely doing Dream Drop Distance.
Next
Are
month
we
we're
also-
doing Dream Drop.
Yeah.
Is it just Dream Drop?
So
yes, it should be. I'll say that much.
yeah,
Okay.
because that is a full game, but
Mhm.
we still also have to do 0.2, all of the key Union Cross stuff, and our recap.
and a recap.
So
Yeah, I feel like that. Like the recap's probably gonna take a while, but the 0.2, even the Union Cross and the
Right.
Unchained Key
So,
stuff, I feel like
I was
that's
thinking
pretty
we can
short.
record those at the same time, split the episode, so we can we'll actually have 2 episodes come out in January, and then we'll have Kingdom Hearts 3
Yeah,
in February.
because we want to have Mike on for the recap.
Yeah.
I just don't want to like talk about Key and 0.2.
The 0.2 is gonna be important. I'll say like that's.
Yeah.
You should definitely play that before 3 comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, there's like one. So if you ever wanted Kingdom Hearts to answer one very, very specific question, 0.2's got your back.
Sora's mom?
Not Sora's mom. It is as specific a reference as that though. Like
Okay.
it is like a thing that you only ever saw once, and you might have thought, "Huh, that's weird," but like they fucking answer it though.
Oh my god.
I'm hyped.
Yeah.
And it like I got unreasonably excited in the moment where like in this very one moment where that happens, and I can't wait to share that with you too.
I can't wait.
So
I'm
Jake,
really excited.
So Jake, were you saying you don't want to be on the one that we're talking about key and all that stuff? Or you
No,
just
no,
don't
no,
care to
no.
talk
I didn't
about
want Mike on that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's what we'll do.
to
Like
throw him off.
we'll record that and then we'll bring Mike on. And
Yeah.
during the recap, like I'm gonna have the whiteboard. I'm gonna have a bottle of hard
Whiskey.
liquor.
Something strong, dude.
Anytime we have to say what, I'm gonna take a shot. Like
We're gonna
what's
get
going
real
on,
messed up.
and yeah, that's gonna be a fun episode.
Is Mike still playing them?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think he
He
started
wants
and
to
he
play
was
3.
enjoying it.
Yeah.
He's played them before though.
Okay.
He just likes to,
I don't think he finished them, but
Okay.
I think he's also watching watching
think
these. And,
I think he's played 1 and 2 and finished them.
okay.
But for anything outside of those 2, I don't think he's.
I know he's listening or watching these though, so he'll be up to date.
Okay.
And everything he's not and hasn't been listening to, the recap episode
catch
is
him
going
up.
to be a lot.
Yeah,
of
Oh
fun.
yeah, we'll have 2 whiteboards. We got
Yeah.
this.
Oh man, dueling
It still won't be
whiteboards. Oh man, guys, thank you again for joining. Oh, Kingdom Hearts. Like almost all this episode hasn't even been talking about like just the games that we're discussing. It's just been asking questions. And
We're getting there. We're at that point. in Kingdom Hearts.
We're coming up on it.
I really can't wait till we're done with 3 and we have everything, all the knowledge together, and just come back.
So we're gonna we're
Yeah.
gonna do that episode and everything, and then what I wanted to do was like a year later or 6 months later, come back, and then like once everything's congealed and settled,
Yeah.
we'll talk about
And
it.
if there's like DLC stuff for 3, like again, I don't think it'll be.
Yeah,
important
I
to
hope
the
there's no
story.
story DLC.
Yeah.
Like
I
we don't
imagine
need
just
another
confusing
15
rules.
fiasco going on here.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
as much as I like to talk crap about 15, I'm upset that we're not getting the DLCs now.
Yeah, I like those DLC episodes. So,
So
yeah, I don't think I imagine we could maybe see extra Disney Worlds added, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they would do that, but we'll see. I am excited to make a list of questions that we still have after we played 3. So I'm sure there'll be stuff, and I bet we could figure stuff out by talking it out. But
no, I'll be keeping a live journal during that Jiminy journal, if you will.
yeah,
It's gonna be needed.
mini games are back, y'all. Watch those trailers. The mini games look real dumb. Super PS2 era. and I'm
The Winnie the Pooh mini
the
games.
Winnie the Pooh ones. Like,
Mhm.
Oh my god, that and like the Big Hero 6, like flying through rings bullshit. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm
Superman
here-
64.
I'm here
Listen,
for this.
listen. If it doesn't control like the PS2 versions, I'll be okay.
How many points do I have to get in a skateboarding mini game in in San Fran, Tokyo? Like, what's this score schedule look like?
Why am I hitting carrots in a diagonal fashion? What the hell's going on
Am
here?
I running through rings of honey down a hill in Winnie the Pooh in the 100-Acre Wood?
You're
God, this is how I
attached-
wanted Kingdom Hearts 3 to turn out.
You're attached to a balloon. Watch out for those trees. Oh, you can hit them with your Keyblade.
At least we know we're getting the full Kingdom Hearts experience.
Yeah, like I was worried we weren't going to see Winnie the Pooh, and like we saw.
Hell no,
Winnie the
dude.
I was scared we weren't going to get skateboarding.
Yeah, I mean, why would we ever worry about that? No more, you
Pooh.
madman.
Oh, guys.
I feel like they just knew what we didn't like about 2 and they amplified it times.
They knew what we needed, though.
We know we didn't like it, but we're going to make it better.
This is for you. You wanted Kingdom Hearts 3, you're getting
Oh
it.
God, what freaking mini games are we gonna get with Frozen? I swear to God, if we're freaking hitting buttons to sing
already
in Frozen, I swear to God.
They already showed like a sledding mini game, so I'm like here for going down like Frozen Hills on a sled with Goofy on Goofy's shield.
We're not gonna get Little Mermaid singing. We're gonna get Frozen. We're gonna get
No,
this.
we better have Little Mermaid singing back. That was a highlight of 2.
No, Ariel's been
Ariel's been Norded.
summoned. She
No.
basically got assist trophied. It's some bullshit. Ariel gets snorted at the end of the game, just fucking me up, just crying. Here was the last Nort report, and they took my beautiful princess from me.
Oh god.
If that happens, I will. That's
I'm
instantly
canceling
game of
the limited run. Actually,
the year. Just
Don't even
cancel it. No. Oh my god.
All right.
That's
Alex.
been amazing.
Alex, thank you for joining us. Where can people find you?
I host a video games podcast, much like this one, called Podcast Ultimate. Actually, doing these is reminding me a lot of that show. It's a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate limited run podcast on youtube.com/Rational Passions. If you like focused, we're talking about this one thing podcast, it gives me a lot of the same vibes as this show. I also host Irrational Passions podcast on irrationalpassions.com. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff on there for that. And you can follow me at AlFighter27 on just about everything. And we can talk about Kingdom Hearts. It's going to be great.
Jake, where can people find you?
Jake P47, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. We're back on
And
the Twitch thing. We're doing.
You
We're
are?
doing. I'm gonna stick with Pokemon.
Yeah.
When Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, of course I'm gonna be streaming Kingdom Hearts 3. But right now I feel like Pokemon's been the better streams.
No, they've been a blast to watch.
Yeah. Oh, I already did Miss D versus Jake P47
Oh, God.
too. So that didn't turn out as bad as the first one.
The only reason I'm not watching that one is because I want to go into Let's Go fresh. Yeah.
But I've been shiny hunting also, and that's kind of boring.
So you
for
haven't been
people to
going
watch so much.
anywhere. Yeah.
No. I'm right now shiny hunting for Vulpix, so that's been interesting.
Too much fun. You can find me at Shibs42 on Twitter and Instagram. I'm just playing all kinds of random stuff right now. Alex,
I know, you're all over the place.
Yeah, Alex, what have you been playing?
I Let's Go Pikachu is revitalizing my love of Pokemon in a way that I never thought it would. And I have 100%ed Spyro 1, Spyro 2, and almost 100% Spyro 3.
Nice.
And it's been 4 days since that game came
Yeah,
out.
I wanted to ask you, do you think it's easier now? Like they
Oh,
made
I've done it
Spyro
before.
easier?
The stuff in Spyro 3 that I remember being really hard is still sucks. So
I just feel like they made a lot of the enemies, like their reaction times and attack times, slower. And
it's felt the same for me, and that might just be because I've been getting hit a lot. But I don't know. It's felt pretty even for me.
I just remember getting a lot of rage playing the original. And
Yeah.
100% of the first world within like, I don't know, 40 minutes.
Have
to
you
an
gotten
hour.
to Spyro 3 yet? I assume not.
No, I'm still in one. I've been bouncing between games.
I think
I'm
once
not
you
allowed
get,
to play the game.
Yeah, until she's done with it.
Mm-hmm.
that's
And
fair.
she just finished. She just got the platinum for Spyro 1, so she's on Spyro 2 right now. So I have a long time to wait, but thankfully I got Pokemon.
Yeah, I think once you get to 3 and some parts of 2, you'll find that rage again deep in
Okay.
your soul.
Mhm.
It has been a very true to Spyro experience for me, and I've loved every goddamn second of it.
Very beautiful game.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
on 4K. Oh my
Gorgeous.
god.
Parts of it, some of the characters look a little, but
Yeah.
I like art style wise, like stylistically, I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
a
just-
little
Mhm.
irk of mine was like, even in just the artist's world, a couple of the dragons say the same thing. I was like,
yeah, that's true
Yeah,
to
that's-
Spyro, man.
Yeah.
But those games are also still great. They hold up in a great way. So,
a lot more playable than Crash.
oh yeah,
I still have not gone back and played through Crash 1 just because of that damn level.
the bridge one.
Mm-hmm.
I beat those games, but Crash 1, rough.
Whoa. Mm.
So I
The
feel
rage within,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This has been Kingdom Hearts Volume 4. Body and Heart. Heart and Body. I don't have the thing open. Number 4.
How many people will get Norded between this episode and next episode? You'll have to wait. and find out.
Oh, I have a feeling the Nort report is going to be long in the next episode.
It's gonna be lengthy. Yes.
I can't wait for you to see the image that I have for the Nort report.
Kingdom
It's-
Hearts 3. That Nort report's going to be interesting.
It's gonna be the longest one,
Yep.
but we're gonna get unnorted, I imagine. So like
The
how's it gonna
Unnort
go?
report. Ooh.
the unnort report.
I need to make an image for that.
Oh yeah. Kingdom
Guys,
Hearts
thank
is
you.
great.
Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching and listening. We'll be back next month. I promise. It's not going to be 2 months. Have a fantastic evening.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Good.